It's Macy back with Macy's Reading Corner, reading I Survived the Sinking Titanic, 1912, by Tarshis, illustrated by Scott Dawson. Chapter 5. At dinner that night, Aunt Daisy raised her glass. To George, no trouble for one entire day. They clinked their glasses together just as an old man stopped by their table. Mrs. P, the man said to Aunt Daisy. I've been meaning to say hello. Mr. Steve, Aunt Daisy said. What a pleasure. This is George and my nephew. This is George, my nephew, and my niece Phoebe. Mr. Steed nodded hello. So, Aunt Daisy said, what brings you onto this magnificent ship? Oh, I couldn't miss it, he said. I think all of society is on this ship. I hear there's even an Egyptian princess on board. Really? Aunt Daisy said. I haven't met her. Well, none of us have. She's traveling in the first class baggage room. Excuse me, Aunt Daisy said. The princess is more than 2,500 years old, Mr. Steed said. George's ears perked up. I'm not sure I understand, Aunt Daisy said. She's a mummy, Mr. Steed said. A mummy? Phoebe gasped. That's right, Mr. Steed said, from a tomb near Tibes. I understand she belongs to a man named Mr. Burroughs. People are saying he sold the coffin to the British Museum. Then he packed the princess herself in a wooden crate. Apparently he's bringing her back for his collection. Some say it's bad luck to take a mummy from its tomb. I'm glad I'm not the superstitious type, Aunt Daisy said. Mr. Steed chuckled. In any case, nothing can harm this ship, not even the curse of a mummy. Mr. Steed tipped his hat and said goodbye. Mr. Steed is a very famous writer in England, Aunt Daisy said. You never know who you'll meet on the Titanic. And then it hit George, the best idea ever. That mummy, he needed to see it. Maybe this day wasn't going to be so boring after all. We'll go ahead and read chapter 6. George didn't tell Phoebe or Aunt Daisy about his plan. He figured he'd head down to the first-class baggage room after they went to sleep. He'd find Mr. Burroughs' crate, pry it open, and take a quick peek at the mummy. He'd be back in bed and snoring away before anyone knew he was gone. It was almost 11:15 when Phoebe was finally asleep and the light was out under Aunt Daisy's door. George crept out of bed. He quickly got dressed and put his knife in his pocket. He'd need it for prying off the lid of the crate, and who knew? Maybe there was a live cobra in the box too. George could hope, couldn't he? George opened the door and peeked into the hallway. He wanted to avoid Henry, who seemed to have eyes in the back of his bright orange head. He wouldn't like George creeping around so late at night, but the hallway was quiet. There was no noise at all except for the quiet hum of the engines rising up from the bottom of the ship. George loved that noise. It made him think of crickets in the woods at night.